you want to look on the back side now, on the back side, there's a partition between room 1 and room 4, so we can control the flow of fire and smoke from there. Then there's a partition through this floor and a partition up to the attic. So, yeah. Finished it last night.
Dang. You did this all in one night?
No, it's about an 8-hour job. Going to the Menards and getting the stuff, you know.
That's a good job.
It works. All the first. So anyhow, this is the room I'd like you to watch. Paul and I had conversation out here, and I'm sure you're going to hear it again. This is a room similar to a bedroom in a house. Bedrooms are generally upstairs. If you sleep with your bedroom door closed, most of the time fire's not going to penetrate that. So there are no partitions, no avenues for fire to get into room 2. So as this thing burns away, you're going to find that very little. You get some smoke entry in here because the pressure is going to increase, but for the most part, that room is going to be undamaged. All right, I'm going to put some of this in there. You can give me a hand. You've built a fire before, right? I'll let you do that.
What do you put down first?
Make sense?
Yep.
If you've got openings right up through the top, that fire is going to go through there like a rocket. So when you control the flow path, you control the fire. And if you're learning these things, that's really what we're here to show you, is how to control the flow path. And in the years gone by, when I first started fighting fire, the chief would tell me, go grab a...
I think that should be enough.
No. Stoke her up good, man. Yeah, thank you. He would, grab an axe and break the windows up. House is burning. The first thing we do is bust all the windows out. What did that do?
Create more.
Open up that flow path. That whole thing would just go and.
Like that video we talked about.
And the answer and the statement or the answer is, well, we never had a chance. So the reality is, the fire department burned the house down and didn't know the difference. That's the way that I observed that.
Yep.
I think we should put some more in there.
Pull the whole box in.
I got more cardboard than that.
That cardboard, I used that cardboard. I had to teach a class in Floodwood on Monday night, and that demonstration that we did with the cardboard worked really well down there too. With you spray the water on there, and then you put a little bit of that foam and watch it penetrate through. Yeah,
that's called a wetting agent, right?
Wetting agent.
Right.
Play around. So there's 2 layers of oriented strand board or OSB. And as things heat up and they start to shift, you'll find that some of these doors may not work as smooth as they do now.
We were talking about lightweight construction, right? Yesterday? Yeah. What do we say about the floor joists? What happens to the floor joists?
They're going to give way.
Because the OSB burns pretty rapidly, right?
Yep.
It's got the resin in it, whereas the regular wood doesn't have that. Older houses take a lot longer to burn. Floor might look perfectly fine. As soon as you step on it, you're gone, because the only thing that's holding up is a 2x2.
So always sound your floors.
A lot of modern floors have nothing more than a 2x3 on top, 2x3 on the bottom, with this plywood OSB web in the middle. That's how they're made. It's crazy.
They love them because they're silent. They don't creak like a regular old wood does, but they're lightweight.
Got her? I'll let you check
work?
your pump out. Give her. All right.
There you go.
Well, you give her a straight streak. All right. So just a little bit of
yes.
little bit of review on incident command. If we pull up with our engine and we're on this side of the fire, let's talk about geographically how do you name those sides and how do you name that stuff?
Alpha, Charlie.
This is the alpha side, right?
Alpha.
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
Charlie, Delta. Okay, this is Division 1.
Yep, Division 2.
2.
What's
Division
this?
2.
What's this? The propane tank beside the house.
That's
Bravo, Charlie.
That
No,
would be a
Corner.
If this was the propane tank,
That'd
that
be-
was the house.
that'd be a
Both of it, no. Exposure.
Exposure, very
Delta.
good.
Seaside exposure, 1, 2, whatever.
You may have exposures on different
I
sides,
was
and
gonna
you'll
say
generally
exterior.
numerically label them that way. So, all right, we'll check all the partitions. Everything's looking pretty good.
Yeah, come here, little buddy. Come here.
We're gonna hear this in all of our videos.
So, in the stages of fires, when we did our fire behavior class, this is called an incipient stage fire, right?
Yes.
In an incipient stage fire, OSHA says we can just go in and put the dang thing out. But when that fire hits the growth phase, now we're going to have to assemble how many people on the fire ground? 4. Very good.
How many are going in?
2.
and 2 ready.
2 ready.
Ready to go in at any time, right?
And when we're talking about the color of smoke, today is going to be a good day to observe different colors of smoke. We don't have a lot of. Is there any styrofoam cups in there?
There was insulation in there.
There is styrofoam cups in there.
And once if we get a styrofoam cup, we can change the color of smoke. Otherwise, everything is going to be brown.
You want to get that, Paul?
Where's that?
They're right up on top of the cabinet. Can you reach?
That's mainly like what about the kilns.
Yeah,
We had to go for the kilns, like to see through this, visually see through this one.
yeah.
The darker it
It's
gets.
terrible.
Basically, you trying to, I forget, determine the,
That's so cool.
that's a name for
We're
it.
building things.
But it's like different stages of smoke.
Yes. So why is this fire taking its time to get going here today?
Not enough oxygen.
Okay?
Tree.
And humidity. Humidity impacts the fire too. So if this were in January, you got temperature and it's drier out, that's probably good for now. You can let her go. You might have to
Couldn't reach, so I got smoke.
Perfect. This is what we call solid gasoline, by the way.
Smoke gasification. You can run a generator off it.
So if I shut the door on this thing now, this is going to become a ventilation limited fire. Is it possible that that fire will burn itself out?
Yes.
We all understand that part.
It's also possible to relight.
It'd be possible to, yeah, we'll get her going again, easy enough, with that torch. But sometimes the fires will just burn themselves out. That's an important point to consider.
Yep.
All right? You might have to give it a little bit of heat. But given enough time, we would have put that fire would have put completely out, right?
Yep.
So it's important that in firefighting that we understand that we have to control our domain, and that domain happens to be the fire flow. We can control the fire flow, we can control the water flow to some degree.
What's the guy doing at the front door?
Keeping it shut.
Control the door, right?
Door control. We're gonna let that go good. Get her going.
Try to use up all your scraps.
Well, I never run out of scraps. But I want to make sure that we
You don't
have
have
good
kids at home anymore, Theo.
Yeah,
He takes all the time woodworking, so he has all the scraps.
yeah. So we're gonna let that get going pretty good. Talk about accelerant. Say that again.
I said I probably have stuff in my truck that could be used as an accelerant.
Oh, absolutely, right? But we'll do this okay without accelerant. But that's an interesting word. Name an accelerant. What could that be?
Alcohol.
Gasoline.
Alcohol, gasoline, right? We built an alcohol fire out here last time I was here,
Yep.
right? You want to put some of that foam in there?
I'd love
Yeah.
Here comes Paul with the foam.
You gotta send this to me later.
I've never injected foam into one of these.
First time for everything.
Yeah. So as the wood is burning, you're going to see some of the brown smoke. And one of the interesting things is this wind is really doing weird things here today.
We get in these trees, we're whipping around pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's non-flammable foam.
So the reality is here now, we pull up with the fire department. We've got most of this house is not on fire yet, right?
Okay.
So it's possible Steve can come up and we're going to hit it with a straight shot up at the ceiling and let it bounce down. Go for it.
Why do we do it at the ceiling?
So it'll
'Cause
come
the heat
down.
rises.
So all the heat's at, right? Kind of like talking about transitional attack. You can't really do it in the basement as well unless you get a different nozzle.
There you go.
210.
So we're putting water in there.
210. 212. 212.
You're close. I knew where you were going though.
All right, so we can actually control this. We pull up in a house like this. If we get a single room and contents, we can put that fire out really pretty easy. We've done our job. Fire hasn't extended into any other room yet because the walls are intact, the doors are intact. But now I'm going to open up the slide between room 1 and room 4. So as this, did you notice that there's a little bit of change in where the smoke is going?
Yes.
Yep.
Right? Smoke is now wanting to flow over here. It's got to heat up room 4. If I open up door 4 here, you see we got a lot of smoke production coming out of there,
Yes.
What color was that smoke?
Gray.
Dark gray.
Brown.
right? Now watch when I open up this door, we're talking about flow path. We're going to see what happens. So we got less smoke coming out of door 1, right? And the wind is really making a big difference here.
Wind is going like an in-draft there and bring things out.
That's right.
It circles it.
So, does wind impact the fire?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So if we have an opening on the windward side of the fire, we're going to get more oxygen in that fire. Will you spray up there, please, Steve? Keep that area up on top of that.
Inside?
On top, right up there. Keep that.
The ledge.
Keep that area from burning as much as we can.
Stop sprinkling.
There we go. All right, so now I'm going to shut the door down. So when I shut the door, you notice the smoke puff? Watch that. Whoops. Keep your torch ready because we're going to try and light some of that smoke now.
Here it is.
So next time what I'm going to do is you stand over here, stand to the side, we're going to open up and see if the smoke is ready to ignite. When I open the door, keep
gonna burn better.
not quite hot enough yet in there. Once it gets hot enough, you'll see that. So now when the building is shut up, you can see that the pressure increases inside the house. Well, not hot enough in there to light that up. We're going to get her going yet.
Flame was getting pretty big though when you put it in there.
effects.
So now, if I open all the pathways up to the roof,
See the smoke start coming out.
Dang, that was quick.
where is it getting air from?
You're holding it.
Right side.
Yep, it's starting to pull through. But if I pull in air here,
It takes.
you can see that this is what's called bidirectional airflow. So you've got air going in here, a little bit of smoke coming out here, but it is blowing through the ceiling now, right?
Yes.
So in your mind, in your thought process when you're sizing up a fire, you've got to take a look at this. Where is the fire and how things are working throughout that whole house. Now we're going to shut it up again. All right, I still have the partition between 1 and 4 open. Yep. So I think we're getting hot enough here, so once you slide 4 shut. Okay? Slide 4 shut. Keep the torch ready, we're going to let this one. And then when I open it up, get the torch right there again. Ready? Get it right in there. Well, still got to get heated up yet. So we're going to let her go. Maybe I'll just give it a little bit of air. So now I've got the roof vent closed, but I've got the opening all the way up for 3 and 4 to get smoke. Not quite hot enough yet. It takes some time to get the heat going in here. So what we're actually going to have to try and do is, well, we will do it, is we have to get the particle board hot enough to the point where it starts off gassing, giving off combustible vapor. What's that word called? Pyrolysis. You were thinking that word, right? Yeah, I knew you were. So, watch out to the side. Nothing in room 2 yet, see that?
Yep.
Keeping everything closed up. Ready? Well, we're close because it's starting to burn as it's coming up. By the time we're done, we're going to get flame coming out of here that we'll control.
Unattended cooking.
My mom almost burned our house out 6 times from the back.
2-3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to
Not coming.
that smoke, brown smoke. Couldn't see nothing. Do I'm gonna get some more styrofoam?
You know, this will probably go. The burn is just a little bit slower today. Why don't you just try and ignite the smoke up there? Now, it's not hot enough to start that paper towel on fire yet.
Nothing.
Okay.
Pretty white.
It is pretty white.
It's still burning here. We might have to put more heat on that. Let that thing get going good.
Everything's well up here. Can't throw any more
I
kindling in.
really don't mind going to get that.
Get the foam?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right.
Smoke going?
Brian, can you stand over to the side so people are recording?
Yeah. There we go. Back wrap?
Yep.
Try that again. So backdrafts are not instantaneous. They take just a little bit of lag time. And here, to finish my story, oh, hey.
He really
Thin
wants
plastic
to
too.
do stuff.
Well, we'll take just a few of these cups here. Cheap potato chips is back. Let me finish my story. It's cheap potato chips. So if you go out and buy the cheapest potato chips you can find, why don't you stick these in the burn room?
But you can light that top right now.
Yeah, try that. See how it's pushing?
Yep.
Volume, velocity, density, and color.
Very
There's a
pretty.
lot of velocity there. Don't stand in the doorway. I don't trust
Always stand.
these doorways at all.
Don't trust us throwing.
I'll get it.
Wow.
What is it? It's a common thing in
So
trucks
we'll straight-
Steve, you want to spray this down there?
that, no,
I'm
you
gonna put this
Try and
down.
light the
Light
fuel
that
up
up.
here, right up here.
Light it up.
Bring your torch.
no.
Oh, look at it go up there. That's what we want. Not there, the top. The smoke.
Spray the paper towel! Spray the paper towel!
There we go. See the flames coming? The hotter that goes. And all that is smoke burning. All right, I'm going to open the door here. Watch out. You want to shut door 4?
How's it go?
Now look at the smoke pouring out of here because the pressure is increasing. There's more heat. Because of the heat, we're getting a lot of pressure. Okay, stand away. We're going to light. See if this one is going to backdraft.
Ready.
Let me use the torch. I'll get it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. that smoke is getting so hot,
That it can light itself on fire.
it's just the smoke that's burning. Now there's not enough up here to ignite. So let's make a flow path.
Yeah.
There we go. Back that. All right, I think we got everything open. Yep. It's open all the way to the top.
It's just fire burning, it's not gonna bite you.
EPA and the PCA and the whole nine yards, right?
PCA, yeah. Friends of the Northland, or Boundary Waters.
Yeah.
Might want to spray
The
the.
fee in the
It's like a
plants,
campfire.
the fee in the plants is a good thing.
Following the air.
Jim,
Oh, that's
the plants is a
Do
good
you
thing.
see that I'm
It's a
igniting
big-
the
it's a
smoke
big
up there?
sign.
Oh yeah.
If I take the torch away, it's not burning. Now look how black it got.
Why did it get black?
See how the rate of fuel is there? I'll take the torch away and it'll burn it. It'll keep burning once we get the right amount of fuel and air. So how do I control it? Let me borrow this thing for a second.
What would that be similar to having?
That's beautiful.
No?
Chimney fire?
Chimney fire. All the stuff inside that chimney, all the creosote, coming up like a rocketing.
So when I spray water in here, what color does the smoke turn to?
White.
White.
White. What is that? Steam, right?
Yep.
If the steam is going through the house,
212.
it's actually controlling the fire.
Someone's gonna call the fire department with smoke.
But that would be funny if pages went out right now. Please respond to your fire hose.
But that is really pretty an interesting phenomenon, isn't it?
There's neighbors over there, over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, video.
The flow path is awesome.
You gotta send this to me later.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You have it from the very beginning.
I have multiple videos. But yeah, I get everything.
Go ahead, hit her.
Oh, look up top
Paper
too.
towel.
Yeah, paper
Get
towel.
the paper towel finally lit. All right, stand clear.
It's not really.
Ooh, why is it green?
Burn itself out.
Burn it.
It burns green?
It's gonna go boom.
There we go.
Took a minute.
There's the backdraft, right? As
Yep.
soon as you get that fuel air mixed in the right contents.
Basically, you still have the fuel and you still have the heat, but you took away the oxygen, right? So then you open the door, let the oxygen back in. Whoosh.
So let's see if we can get 4 to flash over.
How come 2 hasn't burnt yet?
Because it's closed off from all oxygen.
It's that bedroom, right?
No ventilation, it's closed.
All it takes is just a little bit of heat to get that thing going.
So 3 would be relatively untouched then, right?
No, 3 would be just like 4.
3 was open. Oh, 3 was
3 has
open?
got, there's a hole in the floor in 3.
2 is the one that's completely sealed off.
Oh, okay.
We haven't opened that door. It wouldn't matter if you did because it's sealed off. Fire conditions.
It will eventually, but it would take forever.
Oh my gosh, I know what I did.
Just keeping the mosquitoes away.
Hey, you know what we don't have to worry about right now, though? Mosquitoes.
Now look at the airflow, flow path. It's pulling the air into that. Ah, shit, right in the eyes.
That was such a quick whipping of smoke.
Where's Frank's in the fridge?
Oh yeah.
So
There's
let's
some
open
Franks.
it all up and see where we can get rolling here.
I'm getting hungry.
All right, everything's open. We'll let her get going really good. Really quickly, let's open up room 2 and see how that thing is doing. What do you think? Pretty well untouched?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Just
little bit
smoke.
of smoke in there, right?
Oh, not a little.
Not hot enough in there.
Not hot enough to burn. I've been to house fires, structure fires, that as
Why did it really come out that door when they're about to shut?
Getting fairly well damaged. This chamber, this seam is right here is starting to open up.
How long do you have, like if you can see that a car is gonna explode,
Yeah.
like go up, how long do you have if there are people inside?
If the gas cap is on, it might explode. If the gas cap is off, it's probably not going to explode. Now, the explosion is just a rapid oxidation, right? So will the gasoline rapidly oxidize? Yes. It all depends on where the fire is. If the fire's in the engine compartment, the people are pretty safe. And that's most of the time where it occurs.
So when it comes from the bottom, is it just because normally during the crash, like the tank or something got fucked up?
Yeah, you
Or messed up,
rupture
sorry?
the fuel line or something.
And that's how like the bottom.
Right. Have you guys had your hose and streams class yet? Nope. So this fire is rapidly consuming this structure, isn't it?
Yep.
Let's shut it up, Steve. You should see it pouring out of it. Look at this. I've never had that before. It's blowing out this vent hole right here.
It's whirling down.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
Over here too?
Yep. We'll keep trying to control it unless you guys want to go back in the classroom.
Oh no, let's burn her down.
All right, I'm gonna open door 1 again.
Roof is still open.
Flash.
Flashover or backdraft?
Backdraft.
There we go.
What's the difference?
Flashover.
That's over. It's already going. It'll just moving over. Back after push out.
Still, what's the difference between a backdraft and a flashover?
Flashover occurs when the room's contents get heated evenly and they all ignite at the same time.
That's flashover.
That's a flashover. A backdraft occurs when you have a oxygen deprivation or fuel limited fire. Now what's a smoke explosion? If you YouTube smoke explosion Virginia, Minnesota, they'll show you a fire of a smoke explosion there. This thing is rapidly failing now. These gaps are all going to hell. Wait till the window. I don't think we're going to get that door open.
A flashover or a backdraft. Flashover is when everything gets to the one temperature. Once it gets to the combusting level,
There we go.
everything.
That room still hasn't burned through and the rest of the structure's shot. Can you shut that?
It heats them up so
It
much.
has, it is taking some heat now though.
There's Frank's in the fridge. Can I go grab those?
Like when someone goes to open the door. Oh, that is a backdraft. Oh, I had that backwards.
You don't have anything to stick
We'll just leave it go for a little bit.
Oh, that is a backdraft. Oh, I had that backwards.
You don't have anything to stick
We'll just leave it go for a little bit. That part over.
Flashover.